Hello and welcome to TV9 News. I'm Adarsh Vepacheru. Today I'll be speaking to you about the GHMC election results, its implications, and how South Indian politics is all set to change looking forward. Now, before we go ahead, let me roughly tell you as to how the election results really panned out. TRS is the single largest party when it comes to the number of votes that they gathered, and they continue to remain in power when it comes to the GHMC. And a close second is the BJP, which is again the party that has made massive inroads in Hyderabad. The third party is the AIMIM, which has almost in a sense retained its stronghold, its foothold when it comes to major parts of Hyderabad. But in the fourth position is the Congress that has really not done well at all. They are down to just about 2 seats out of 150 seats in the GHMC elections. So broadly speaking, what has happened is that BJP has cut into the vote share of both the TRS and the Congress when it comes to the GHMC Hyderabad limits. So let us now speak to you about what really worked for the BJP when it comes to the GHMC elections. Now, when it comes to the campaigning part of it, you had the Saffron Party roping in some of the star campaigners like Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. You even had Union Home Minister Amit Shah come down to Hyderabad and campaign quite heavily. But yes, when we are speaking about Yogi Adityanath's campaign, he went to Malkajgiri and he spoke about renaming Hyderabad as Bhagyanagar. But guess what? In Malkajgiri, the BJP did not do so well. They in fact lost that seat. And even when it comes to the regions where Amit Shah campaigned, the BJP did not really do well. So what is it that seems to have worked in favor of BJP is that they're focused on one particular division called the LB Nagar. Now it is in LB Nagar where BJP scored almost half of its total seats, which is still 6 times the number of seats that the BJP got in the previous GHMC elections. The party, factually speaking, has secured 2/3 of the total number of seats in this particular division as well. Now, let us now talk about what is it that really worked for the BJP in the LB Nagar division, because that is where the Saffron Party seems to have done very well. To start off with, you had the BJP state chief, Bandi Sanjay, ensuring that the entire party cadre was mobilized and they were out there on the streets campaigning for the party quite heavily when it comes to the LB Nagar division. That apart, there was a massive BJP RSS rally that was taken out across the length and breadth of the LB Nagar division about 1 year back around the same time, and that also seems to have had its own impact on the electorate of LB Nagar division. That apart, there was plenty of dissent among the electorate of the LB Nagar division, given the amount of damage the entire area had to go through during the flood in Hyderabad. A lot of houses were almost submerged, and the people of LB Nagar were very unhappy with the TRS performance in LB Nagar. Again, it's an area that falls south of Musi River and usually bears the brunt of heavy rain. So a lot of people in LB Nagar are unhappy with the way TRS is going about things. And one more very interesting factor here is that a lot of people from Nalgonda district, which is another district in Telangana, a Congress bastion so to speak, are the ones who come down to LB Nagar and stay there. So it is very clear that the tide is shifting at this point in time. Next time around in the elections, you may even see Nalgonda going the BJP's way. Again, it's a reminder, Nalgonda is a Congress bastion. So things are really going to change. Now, apart from the dissent over floods, when it comes to LB Nagar division, there is sizable Hindu population, and that of course has worked in the BJP's favor. And what BJP really had to do was essentially position itself as a viable alternative. They just had to present themselves for the elections, and a lot of things really fell in place for them, and you have the results right in front of you. And again, speaking a little more about the LB Nagar division itself, this area has a sizable RSS presence as well. There are a lot of shakhas and a lot of RSS members who've campaigned in this very area. And when you speak about the opposition in the LB Nagar division, not too much. There's quite a bit of vacuum in the opposition, and this is what the BJP seems to have capitalized on. So these are a few things that seem to have fallen in place for the BJP, resulting in their stupendous performance in the LB Nagar division. Now let us go a little further, broaden our perspective, look at things at the macro level as to how the GHMC elections could be a precursor for the overall politics, at least in South India, and how there is a real need for the regional political parties to wake up. This is nothing short of a wake-up call for all of these regional parties. Now, to be very honest, BJP is proving to be a formidable force to reckon with, a formidable party right here in the south of India. And factually speaking, the BJP is looking very strong in 3 states at this point in time: Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and of course you have Karnataka. And that apart, the popularity of regional parties is waning at this point in time, and BJP is really looking to capitalize on that. And when it comes to issues like language and a very regionalistic approach that the regional parties bank on, these views seem to be getting put on the back burner at this point in time. Now, talking about the Congress, there's a very big implication for the Congress as well, which is currently absolutely down in the dumps, at least when it comes to the southern part of India. So to speak, even in the GHMC elections, the Congress managed to get only 2 seats. Again, we're talking about a party that was responsible for giving statehood for the state of Telangana, and look where they stand at this point in time. So, a lot of implications, not just for the regional parties of South India, but also for the Congress. They have to really find their mojo in the south of India to have any kind of impact, or else they will be reduced to being a bystander. So yes, this brings us to the final question: whether politics in South India are all set to change, whether we will see winds of change soon. Another important litmus test for the BJP would be the 2023 elections in the state of Telangana. That will be very closely watched given the kind of performance that they have doled out in the GHMC elections. So a lot is set to change, and we'll keep a close eye on how politics in South India really change over the next few years. And yes, if you like the information that we have shared with you, do not forget to like and share this video, and subscribe to TV9 News on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Many thanks for joining us.